Hello, fifth graders. Welcome to lesson 8.3, Naming Triangles. Let's get started. Today's lesson objective is I can name and order triangles by classifying them based on their sides and angles with 100% accuracy in multiple attempts. Please pause to write the I can and by statement in your digital math notebook now. All right, fifth graders, today has 3 more vocabulary words relating to triangles. Yesterday we talked about the angles in a triangle. Today we're going to talk about their sides. One way that we can name a triangle based on its sides is if it has 3 equal sides. If a triangle has 3 equal sides, then we call it an equilateral. See the word equal in it? If a triangle only has 2 equal sides, then we call it an isosceles. Isosceles has 2 S's at the beginning, which is how I remember that it has 2 equal sides. And a scalene triangle has no equal sides. Please pause to type the answers into your digital math notebook now. All right, friends. Like I said, yesterday we talked about triangles when we looked at their angles. Today we're going to look at their sides. We can actually give triangles 2 names, one based on their angles and one based on their sides. Let's practice this with me. On this first triangle, all the angles are acute. So if we look at the angles, all of them are less than 90. That means that this is an acute triangle. But this triangle also has a second name. This triangle has 3 congruent or equal sides. We can tell that by these little marks. These marks tell us that they are equal. When all 3 sides are equal, we call that triangle an equilateral. On our next triangle, we can see that this corner here is a right angle. That means that we would call this triangle a right triangle. But we can also see that it has 2 sides that are marked as equal. When a triangle has 2 sides that are equal, we can also call it isosceles. Our third triangle has an obtuse angle, so we call it an obtuse triangle. And you can see by these markings, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, that they are all different. When all the sides of a triangle are different, then we call it scalene. Are you ready to do some triangles with me? All right, friends, in your digital math notebook, you have a page that looks like this. We are going to classify each of these triangles by their angles and by their length. Our first triangle, you can see, has an obtuse angle. That means that it is an obtuse triangle. It has 2 sides that are marked, which means that that is an isosceles. The words are spelled up here if you need to see them as well. Our second triangle has every different side different, but all of the angles are less than 90. So this is an acute triangle with all different sides. We call that scalene. And here is our third triangle. Our third triangle has all acute angles, but all the sides are equal. So that would be an equilateral triangle. Please pause if you need to finish typing your notes in your digital math notebook before moving to the next page. All right, friends, it's time for our lesson activity. In our lesson activity, we are going to be looking at some triangles and describing them. So, in this question, it says, what geometric properties do the three triangles have in common? And how are they different? So let's answer those two questions. The things they have in common, let's see. They all have three sides, obviously, but let's look at their angles. It looks like they're all acute. And something that they have different well, let's see. This triangle has three different sides. The middle triangle has two sides the same, and the third triangle has all the same sides. So different is that the side lengths are all different on each triangle. All right, for our second question, Marissa built a glass table that is the shape of a triangle. Two of the sides are congruent and one side is different. The angle measures are 16, 20, and 144. Classify Marissa's tabletop and explain how you knew. So first off, let's talk about the angles. If we have a 16, a 20, and a 44, that 144 is obtuse. So that tells me that 144 means that my triangle is going to be obtuse. Now, if I go back and look at the sides, it told me that two sides are congruent, so two sides are the same, but one side is different. Your job is to finish this statement about the sides. If two sides are the same and one side is different, what do we call that type of triangle? If you're not sure, go back and look in your digital math notebook or go back and watch this video again. Great job, fifth graders. You're almost finished. When you feel comfortable with this lesson and your digital math notebook is complete, then complete the exit slip to show your teacher your understanding. Great job!